All right, in this one, we're going to go ahead and break down Jack Harlow's Churchill Downs featuring Drake. First things first, the tempo on this one is 97 beats per minute. Starting off with that first main sound that's pretty much looped throughout the entire record. Same chords as well, that is just basically looped. Here they are right over here. And for that sound, I use Logic's Vintage Mellotron right over here. And it's basically a sort of balance between two types of flutes, just transposed at different octaves. Next up, to layer this to add some textures, we added in this sound. So for this one, I used a texture preset under cinematic textures called expansion. All right, next up, I added in another type of keyboard sound once again to just give it that layer texture type of sound. Same chords. It's basically that plucky type of sound just to give it a little bit of attack on each hit. And for this sound, I used an instance of Alchemy, a preset found under keys called Fragile Thoughts. And together, all that sounds like this. So on the latter half of that pattern, we get another set of this flute mellotron sound, except played up at an octave higher. So these are the same notes in the chord, just played up octave higher. And that sounds like this. All right, and then near the end of this pattern, the second half of it, we add in some strings. Once again, an instance of mellotron, and this time I just used the string section on sound 8. And all that together sounds like this. And then at the top of each pattern, there's this piano hit over here. So for that sound, I used a keyboard preset found under keyboards called Dark Lo-Fi Piano. Same note, just spread out over 2 octaves. All right, next up, I heard a lot of like ambient type of sounds in the background in the track, and I figured a sort of ambient sample will fit perfectly here. So here is a sample from my 2022 kit. It's just a texture of like a crowd in a restaurant. Just fits in the track nicely and just gives it that texture and grainy type of feel and ambient type of sound with just weird noise happening here and there. And then from there, we get the drums. So the drums, we got a snare. Then we get a hi-hat pattern. And then we get an open hat. If you're wondering how to get that open hat, it's basically this open hat right over here. It's just your typical open hat. Let me just go to the root key here. It's that open hat right there. Just a basic open hat, but what they did in the track was they took that open hat, I'm assuming, and just pitched it down 1 octave. All right, next up we got the kick over here. Now to make that kick a little bit more thumpy, within Logic's quick sampler, I just pulled off the cutoff all the way to sort of the halfway point and pulled up a lot of drive. Otherwise, the kick sounded like this. It's very sort of like pointy and punchy, but it's sort of more muffled and more distorted a bit. So pull down the cutoff to take off that top end and then pull up a lot of the drive. And it gives you more of a thumpy, lo-fi type of sound. And then from there is the 808. This is the 808 pattern. There are 2 patterns. This is number 1. All right, and second pattern. And together the drum sounds like this. That's pretty much the track right there, minus the vocal samples. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And listen to the remix we just put together, Jack Harlow's Churchill Downs featuring Drake. Let's go. Alright, so right there is Jack Harlow's Churchill Down featuring Drake, remade in Logic Pro. For those of you who use Logic, you can go ahead and click the links down below the like button. That'll include the Logic section as well as the playback if you don't use Logic. If you do have any questions on this, we can go ahead and chat in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.